So there's been a lot of talk that Rohit Sharma is likely to miss the first test match versus Australia for personal reasons, and even Gautam Gambhir came out and addressed the speculation to say that KL Rahul, Shubman Gill or Abhimanyu Easwaran could open the batting should the need arise. Whilst I like all of these options bar Easwaran, who I feel like is a bit of an Abhinav Mukund type of player, unfortunately a very good domestic player, but from what I've seen doesn't have the technique to play international fast bowling. In a previous video I talked about Bazball selections, and I can't help but feel India should do something like this and pick Sai Sudarshan. Firstly, let's look at his stats. He only averages 41.44 from 28 first class matches, which isn't exactly well knocking down the door, but everyone who's watched him and seen him play live rates him very highly. So why should they pick him? Firstly, the game versus pace. With Sai Sudarshan, it's very clear he can perform well against pace. He scored a few good 50s against South Africa in some ODIs on some spicy wickets. Additionally, he's gone to the county that's produced the most English cricketers recently and done very well there. I feel like Alex Stewart at Surrey is a very good judge of talent, so to impress him and come back for a second spell even makes me think that they rate him as a very good player. Secondly, he scored 100 in the warm-up versus Australia. He's clearly acclimatised to conditions, and this makes me believe that if he is dropped into the test match, he can succeed on the bouncier tracks. Lastly, as I mentioned, I just think he's a better choice than Easwaran. I know Easwaran has been the reserve for a long time now, but if you look at the talent and skill of Sudarshan and his CV and where he's performed, I feel like Sudarshan is just the better pick. Easwaran really hasn't done it abroad in other conditions as far as I can tell, nor does he have the game to back it up. So why shouldn't they pick him? I mean, the big reason is that you've got KL Rahul, who's experienced at the top of the order and has played and scored hundreds in Australia before. Given you have someone like that, it makes it very hard to ignore and go for someone unproven. Secondly, he hasn't really knocked down the door. As I said, an average of 41 isn't making you an automatic pick for the India team, like say a Sarfaraz Khan who was averaging 50 or 60. Normally I would say this is a big factor, but he's also played a lot of games in England which say a Sarfaraz Khan didn't, which makes me believe that he has the hunger to be really successful in red ball cricket. So let me know what you think of the selection in the comments, and if you think that Sai Sudarshan should get a turn to play for India in test matches. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe.